Hey everybody, I'd like to talk to you today about cordage, combustion, container, cover, and cutting tool. Your 5 basic C's of survival. So we'll go over each one and redundancies of each one. Okay, for cover components, I really only usually have 1 or 2 with me. This is always number 1. It's made by Combtion hammocks. It's 3 meter by 3 meter, which is like 9.5 foot, almost 10 foot by 10 foot. Tarp that has 19 tie-out points on it. It is the brown one that you have seen me use in a couple of other shelter videos. And inside of this bag is the tarp, and also I keep a quick deploy ridge line in there. I keep stakes, which these are the dollar aluminum stakes from Walmart. I don't like the plastic ones. And I keep this in there. This, in one of my videos, you might have seen these extra little, these are what I use for guy lines. I have a bowline knot and a Prusik loop, and that's it. So I'll connect the bowline to the tarp itself, or a tripod or a bipod, and then I run the Prusik loop down to the other end, and that's where I connect to the stake. That way all I have to really do is pull the tag end of this guy line, and just pull the tag end, and I can adjust the Prusik loop up or down to loosen or tighten it and let it go, and I'm done. I don't have to tie and untie or anything like that. And my other component for shelter is technically my sleep system, which is it's a military sleep system. It has the windproof, waterproof bivy cover over a cold weather bag and a patrol bag. And they call it a 4-piece, but it's a bivy cover, 2 sleeping bags, and this stuff sack. I don't carry the 55-gallon drum liners with me. I should, because those you can use to make browse beds. I normally, which it would make it lighter on me if I would do that, because normally I don't make a browse bed, because I have my Rhino Tough sleep mat, which this, you can put air into it, or you don't have to put air into it, but it does have like I think they call it a self-inflating foam, but it's rolled up and packed down, and when you open it up, roll it out, open the valve, it kind of puffs itself up because air is able to go in and the foam can expand. Now we'll talk about containers. So I have this 32-ounce water bottle. I can boil water or purify water and then put it in here. $1 at Walmart. I don't spend a lot of money on gear. I think honestly the 2 most expensive things that I have are that Combtion tarp was $70, and I paid quite a bit for the military sleep system. This I got for free, and it's stainless steel, but you have 2 lids on it. So you have that lid to go on here, and this lid to go on here, but this and this are lined with plastic, so I have to take them both off if I want to boil water, but it's still 20 ounces. Now this is one of the mess kits I have. I have this one because one of my sons gave it to me. And I bought this cup and nesting cup at Walmart. I think it was, I don't know, I'll just say $10 because I don't remember how much it cost. An entire, hold on, an entire can of chunky soup will fit in there. If you buy the bags of tuna or mashed potatoes or noodles or anything like that, those fit in there as well. I keep a lot of stuff inside of it because I'm not going to carry empty dead space. So we can talk about the other stuff in there later, but it came with 2 little green 8-ounce cups inside. I don't use them. They're pointless to me. So those are just chucked in a bag of stuff that's there if I need it, but I don't really use it. So for this, you have a little, 2-portioned plate and a frying pan. And I can boil water in here, boil water in here, mix food in any of them, boil water in here. I can store water in here. So really, if I boil my water and leave, I can carry a quart here and a pint and a half, almost a pint and a half in here. This is 20 ounces. I also have these small dry bags that I use for different things. I have one that has like wool socks, a hat, and a long sleeve shirt, a pair of gloves shoved in it. So if I happen to get soaking wet, I can get a fire going and strip down and at least put some warm stuff on while everything else is drying by the fire. But this also can be used as a container. I would say it probably would hold 1.5 gallons of water if I wanted to collect water and then pour it little by little into the things I'm using to boil water. So that's what I carry for our container components. Okay, let's talk about combustion. Every one of the knives I have, even the small pocket knives, can strike the ferrocerium rod with ease. I have this little tiny pouch that I'm able to keep this magnifying glass in. This came from a set of binoculars, and the other lens that's identical to this is in another bag of mine. But this little pouch was in a Taurus pistol that I got, and the little tool for the trigger lock was in this. So I use it for this, which protects it from getting scratched because it's really, really soft material. So yeah, solar ignition and the ferrocerium rod, and then lighters, Bic lighters. They always work, and most of my lighters have like anywhere from 10 to 12 inches, sometimes 6 or 8 inches of Gorilla Tape wrapped around them, because you can roll this up and light it, and it actually will burn for a few minutes. So if you're working with tinder that somehow got a little bit of moisture to it, you have enough time that it puts enough heat into it to dry it out. This, I don't carry this with me a whole lot, but I guess it just depends on which bag I grab. But this actually is full of pine pitch, so, which is really good, not only for helping with fire starting, but is also good when you're trying to bushcraft tools, and you can use that pine pitch as a glue. And then in my mess kit that my youngest son gave me, this has, I've got fireproof matches. And like I said, I don't go buy the expensive stuff. I can't see spending $20 on one of these just because it has a tiny little compass on it. This is $6 at Walmart. It has the sandpaper striker on it. They give you extras. The refill, which I think if you buy a refill of matches, it's 20 matches. It's just like $1 something. And then there's a little bit of tinder in the lid. And these are waterproof matches. I have a couple pieces of fat wood in here. That this I haven't even used these two yet. I'm still working on the other one. More lighters. I got there's lighters everywhere. Oh, look, another flashlight. And char cloth, which, just so you know, you do not, if you're using an Altoids tin, you do not have to poke a hole in the top. I always did, and I found out you don't have to because they're not sealed tight. You know, they don't thread on. There's no type of seal on them. There's holes near the little hinges. So it's really, you don't even have to put a hole in them. The gases will still come out, but there's char cloth, and I can use the ferrocerium rod or solar ignition to light that. You can use anything to light it, but I don't have a flint and steel, or I would carry that too. So that's what I use. That's what I carry with me for combustion. Okay, cordage. Everything I carry is either 550 paracord or number 36 tarred bank line. I have a roll and a half of that, but I also have, this is actually 2 5-foot pieces that are hanked together of number 36 tarred bank line, because I use those for my bipods and tripods. So I just keep reusing it and reusing it. I don't see the point in cutting it off or anything like that. So I untie it, unravel it, hank it back up, and keep it. You've seen my quick deploy ridge line. And then I keep these 2 hanks as well. I believe this one is 20 feet. This one is about 12 feet. And those are just for miscellaneous things. I may want to fly a tarp in the area over a log where I can sit and do things, so I don't have to be in or under the shelter all the time, which I don't want to make a mess where I'm laying, you know. And you've seen the 6 orange hanks that I keep in with my shelter that I use for guy lines. So that's what I have for cordage, which any of these, you break these down and you actually have 8 cords in one, because you have your outer sheath, and then inside you have 7 strands, and you can use those to secure things. You can use them for fishing. You can use them to sew clothing and gear if you need to. So that's what I carry for cordage. Okay, now we'll get into our cutting component. Alright, so the axe, obvious reasons, right? Chopping wood, splitting wood. I also have this SOG folding saw that I picked up at Gander Mountain. Like, I don't know, I've probably had it for 6-7 years. These are in my pocket non-stop. I picked this one up at a truck stop. It's got, you know, your it's got a regular blade on it and then a trapper's blade on it, and which anybody who knows me knows I love knives and I have tons of them. This one will go to one of my grandsons. This one of my sons got me this one, and this one is in my pocket non-stop. I use this for food. I don't use it for anything but food. So if I'm in the woods or I'm in the truck and I have to cut up food, it's that knife right there, which I do use this one for food sometimes, but more so this one, because this one gets used for all kinds of stuff, and well, I just never really know what's on it when I'm cutting my food. This, and like I said, I don't spend a lot of money on stuff. I think this might have been like $16 or $20 at Gander Mountain. This is actually a $3 Walmart bait knife. On the back of the sheath, I have a piece of 1-inch Gorilla Tape holding a sail needle on there, which we'll get into the sail needle later when we talk about the 10 C's. This is just the basic 5 C's. This is just one for small work that is always in my bag, not on my person, it's just in my bag. Then of course my axe, and this is like my favorite bushcraft knife. This is my favorite knife that I have as far as for doing larger work, because it's heavy duty, very heavy duty. It is a full 1/4 inch thick, has a 90-degree spine. I can beat the living hell out of this knife, and I have not bent it, warped it, chipped it, or even dulled it. I've had it for about 4 years, and I've only had to sharpen it once. And it came with this sheath. This is made by Schrade. I got it on Amazon. It was like $30. And then this has the sheath it came with, has this little, I should have used a tripod, has this little pocket on it that had nothing in it. So I put this $10 Ozark Trail multi-tool that stays right in there. And this is actually, it has a hard plastic sheath inside, similar to that. So I don't have any problems with it slipping out or anything. It fits in there pretty good, and then has this sash that goes over it. And on the back, you have this large Velcro flap that you can put over your belt. You have another long one here, which one I used to have this attached to my bag all the time, which was perfect because this will go right through the MOLLE system, and this will wrap around it to help secure it. And at the bottom, I took the string off, but it's got these 2 eyelets at the bottom, and I had paracord in there so that if I had this on my belt, then I would tie this lightly around my thigh, just like you would like a drop-down holster, except instead of a strap, it was just a piece of paracord. So this is, and this isn't always the same stuff. I have so many different knives, it's not even funny. So it just depends on what I'm doing and what's with me as to what I choose to take out for a day, or for a day and night, or a couple days. So that's our cutting component. So there you have it. Cover, container, cordage, cutting tool, and combustion. I hope this video was useful. And until the next video, get off the couch, get off the phone, and enjoy the outdoors.